Bloodsuckers climb down from the trees and suck all the blood from our forehead, leaving the human anemic, and then they transform and radiate red color themselves. This is a common belief among farmers in Odisha with reference to Oriental Garden Lizards abundant in their farmlands. In Bengali, they are called Roktachosha, which literally translates to bloodsucker. From east to down south in Sri Lanka, they are also designated as bloodsucker. While the origin of such meat cannot be correctly traced, such reputation has been incorrectly pinned on this harmless creature due to the red throat that the breeding male displays. During the breeding season, the male's head and shoulders turn bright orange to crimson and his throat black. Males also turn red-headed after a successful battle with rivals. Both males and females have a crest from the head to nearly the tail, hence their other common name, crested tree lizard. During the breeding season, the upper half of the male lizard turns a bright red. The male flaunts attractive color in order to attract the female. While this makes the lizard prominent and attracts the ladies, it also makes it more noticeable for predators. Hence, the lizard adopts an interesting strategy. It changes its color if approached or threatened. The red on the head and body magically changes into a duller color in a few minutes. I was observing this changeable lizard while sitting on the balcony of my cottage at the jungle lodges and resorts near Bandipur National Park, and I quickly grabbed my camera when I got clear visibility. By the way, my first Bandipur safari video is out now, and I had glorious leopard sightings inside the forest. So if you wish to see it, the link is provided at the end. Now look at him. Like leopard, this is another ambush predator. While shooting this very important bioregulator of the ecosystem, I was thinking of us as a species. In nature, the ability to change color can be key to survival. But most of us, when encountered with someone behaving unusually or differently than what we perceive the expected behavior should be, jump into conclusion. Look, now he is showing his or her or their true colors. Mostly, animals classed as ectotherms are able to change their color. An ectotherm cannot generate its own body heat like mammals and birds. This group of animals includes reptiles, frogs, cephalopods, insects, crustaceans, and fish. Color changes happen because of how light is absorbed and reflected by the chemical pigments in the cells of these creatures. But humans are endothermic organisms. This means that in contrast to the ectothermic animals, such as fish and reptiles, humans are less dependent on the external environmental temperature. However, not necessarily no mammals and birds don't experience color change. More than 20 species of birds and mammals in the northern hemisphere undergo total color transformation from brown to white between summer and winter. As days shorten in fall and lengthen again in spring, these animals get hormonal signals that trigger the turnover of fur or feathers. But we humans use the term changing colors in a different way. Let's say an individual generally comes across as nice in their disposition in social circle. Most find them agreeable, pleasant, at times boringly so. And then one fine day, a sharp shift is noticed in their behavior. They are now coming across as stern. Why this uncomfortable shift? Master the discomfort of the beneficiaries of such arrangement? If the same changes are very gradual or incremental, most humans don't even notice. But if the transition is jarring, I have seen many human observers in such instances don't hesitate to conclude, this is not him. Why they are acting so weird? I mean, this is plain attention-seeking behavior. 2. Look, now the real color is coming out. I always knew something wasn't right about this individual. For some onlookers, the previous state became coveted because in that state, the person was seemingly exploitation ready. And now the person is seemingly exploitation averse, not a desired state for an exploitative surrounding, isn't it? So suddenly, all along how they have been thus far becomes their false color, and what now shocks others becomes their true color, till it settles as the new normal. And if suddenly there's a glance at the old form, then some observers tend to think, man, how quickly he changes his color. So confusing. Must be going through some mental issue. While others give a side eye to that individual, thinking, so cunning. I knew it. And if any of these observers also happen to learn about pop psychology from few podcasts and Instagram, they would dub this behavior as being bipolar. Needless to say, this is broadly ignorant and myopic take without any understanding of human psyche or animal world or forest from which we need to learn many life lessons. Animal world primarily changes colors as an adaptation mechanism when the environment has become otherwise not sustainable for their survival, to intimidate or hide from their predators when they feel terribly threatened, to showcase own dominance or when they want to mate. Rapid color change may occur due to various triggers including temperature or light. Given that color changing animals cannot generate their own body heat, color change can help animals to regulate their body temperature. So when cold, a lizard may be dark because dark colors absorb more heat, whereas when hot, a lizard may become very pale because light colors reflect heat. But perhaps the two most important functions of color change are camouflage and communication. That's why an awkward looking octopus suddenly becomes this brilliantly intelligent creature who can change colors and patterns in milliseconds while sleeping using thousands of cells beneath their skin called chromatophores. Similarly, most humans changes color to combat or even beat a system which is designed to beat them down and has become successful thus far. To stop getting exploited or continuously let down or when they are under sudden serious threat or perceived threat or stress or when they are in love. Oh yes, blushing in love is real. But these attributes have been always part of them. Only the onlookers were noticing them as one-dimensional being and pigeonholed them with a label. That's why they arrived at such false conclusion that a pleasant personality is someone who is always ready to please. They don't have an entire spectrum of moods and emotions. Someone often talks with nicety means either the person is a people pleaser or will be asking for diamond from Neptune someday in exchange. A kind person is someone who is always eager to showcase kindness regardless of whatever I do to them because isn't kindness a weakness? Either they are naive or they got to have a hidden agenda. I mean, who operates without a hidden agenda? I don't. Or are they trying to act over smart that they know better than me? Look, there you go. Changed colors. I told you so. The real color is out now.
नहीं अभी तो सफारी के लिए वहाँ पे ही जाएंगे ना तो टाइम नहीं है और फिर से कहीं पे जाने के लिए ठीक है हाँ हाँ
Oriental garden lizards are among the least studied reptiles. They are not considered charismatic, nor are they threatened enough to draw the attention of researchers or conservationists. In their regular appearance, most people don't even look at them twice, being totally ignorant of how fantastic, highly adaptable insectivore they are. They can learn color, taste, and space and can discriminate between cues. There's practically no way to hide from these lizards. They see everything, even when they are wearing the pale color. Now, nobody equates integrity with animal shape shifting and color changing, but that's what happens with humans. Humans change colors metaphorically, and the connotation is almost always negative. Rarely anyone who was perceived as a bad person appears good, and we say they changed their colors. Nobody says dacoit Ratnakar changed his color and became the legendary poet and traditional author of the epic Ramayana. Then we use a mouthful word, transformation. But humans change color in the literal sense as well. Some researchers suggest that human populations over the past 50,000 years have changed from dark-skinned to light-skinned and vice versa as they migrated to different UV zones, and that such major changes in pigmentation may have happened in as little as 100 generations through selective sweeps. That means roughly 2,500 years we are talking about. There we don't have problem considering evolution and genes, but for metaphorical color changes, do we consider how the environment played a crucial role in making that shift, almost forcing that evolution? No. There the person is acting sneaky, confusing, was wearing a mask, is hiding something, problematic, and my favorite, I knew this person was too good to be true. So I made such a situation that it affirms my fear as a self-fulfilling prophecy. All species, including humans, are designed to learn and grow, to survive and eventually thrive in their environment. So if we are not changing internally, we are simply not growing internally. And next time you see a human around you suddenly change their colors, know that it may not be sudden. Perhaps you failed to pay attention to the immensely complex brilliance of the natural world, or you undermined that individual all along.